This is Tony Market Moves. I'm just going live, walking around, close to lunchtime. So the question comes up, MMTLP has been halted for trading by FINRA. There are 2 trading days left. So the question comes up, what to do, right? So the problem of halting trading is that there are a whole bunch of, there's two main problems, and Paul T actually spelled it out correctly. So the first problem is there's lack of due process. We're not notified of this we're not notified of this halting and trading. So it's come up as a surprise. It's not something that we expect. And there was a lack of due process there, right? So, they need to actually go through that. Let me see if I can find that anywhere in here. Notifying us of this change. So we need to be notified of the change. And upfront, right? You can halt the spending, halt the process if you want to do, whatever. But if you're going to make it permanent, that's different than if you're doing a temporary halt. Temporary halt, okay, fine, resume, okay? In fact, temporary halt, take as long as you want with a temporary halt and just come back, and halt everything then, right? Halt the date of record, halt the date of distribution, halt to the fact that you're going to delete all the MMTLP shares, freeze everything, do your whatever it is you need to do to resolve your settlement uncertainty. Take as long as you want, FINRA, to resolve your settlement uncertainty. But then, once your settlement uncertainty has been resolved, start right back up from where we were, right? Which means trade for 2 more days in order to let the shorts close out their short position, right? Let them close them out correctly. And we need the shorts to do that. We need those synthetics to go to zero, because there are 165 million shares of NextBridge hydrocarbons moving forward. NextBridge hydrocarbons, they want to have the option to sell their entire company, lock, stock, and barrel, to a larger oil company, something like, an ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, something like that. And in which case they will issue out shares. Let's say that they issue out 1 share of ExxonMobil for 1 share of NextBridge hydrocarbons. Let's just say, who knows? If that happens, and there are, a ton of synthetic shares, well, who's going to provide those shares of ExxonMobil or whoever the buying company is? The buying company is going to issue 165 million exactly shares, 1-to-1, for NextBridge hydrocarbons. So we need to resolve that uncertainty in number of shares for NextBridge hydrocarbons moving forward, to implement its business model, to implement its working model of business, to implement how they do business, right? That's the way it is. Otherwise, FINRA is actually preventing NextBridge hydrocarbons from actually doing its normal business operations. Secondly, the other problem is that what was the other problem? The imbalance of shares, because those shares need to be balanced out. Now, there's some other problems going forward that Paul T had, and I fully agree with all of them. Okay, so you can't just go around and say, okay, or I don't think you should be able to legally go around and suddenly just say, okay, we're halting trading of this stock forever, permanently. Okay, you can halt it temporarily and resolve your settlement issue, which is there under 6440, Section A3. However, you should pick up exactly where you left off at that point. Okay, if you do not do that, then you have not provided due process to shareholders, and you have actually harmed shareholders. You have harmed the NextBridge hydrocarbons, because you are not allowing NextBridge hydrocarbons to go forth and do its business, go forth and do its normal operating business. They are an oil wildcatter. They found oil. They found 3.2 billion barrels of oil. You are preventing them from issuing out a distribution appropriately to their shareholders. Because if there are synthetic shares, and we know there are, they need to be resolved. They need to be resolved in order that they can actually sell their company or exchange their company as a stock swap to a major oil company, right? That's that's how all of these deals work, right? That's standard operating procedure, and they need to let that happen. Okay. So anyway, so those are my quick thoughts on the matter. I hope someone saw my earlier video about why about how they could just freeze everything and just go forward, you know, and so nothing happened. Take as much time as you want to resolve your uncertainty of settlement problems. Take as long as you want, but resolve your freaking uncertainty of settlement so that settlement becomes certain, and then take up right back where where you stopped. Just do that, right? You had freaking 6 months to look at this FINRA. Yeah, and so right now I'm currently blaming FINRA because it was FINRA that issued the trading halt, right? So either unhalt right now and add in the extra time. And it's really unfair to shorts, right? Shorts are only having now they don't have any days to actually cover their short position. So they are theoretically trapped. And the shares, which are going to be deleted, they can't really be deleted at this point either, because that is a debt that is owed. If you're deleting a debt, you don't do that. Shorts owe a debt right now to. So here's the harm that's actually coming in. Shorts owe a debt to people who lent them their shares. Okay, longs like you and me, we bought shares, and as long as the shares were fully covered and borrowed shares, we have our shares, not a problem. The shorts borrowed some shares from, the people who lent them. These lenders now, they're suddenly out. They're out shares, and they won't get them back because the shares are non-tradable, and if the shares get deleted, that debt gets canceled. And how much is that debt worth? Are these lenders now suddenly out all of their shares, right? What's the deal going on here, right? So the lenders will definitely be harmed. The shorts need to pay off their debts, and if they can't pay off their debts need to be frozen somehow until they can pay them off. We know they can't pay it off, but the shorts have to be given at least the opportunity to pay off their debts. And now FINRA has removed the opportunity of the shorts to pay off their debts. They have 2 days. Okay, so this sounds like a lawsuit, and this sounds like a lawsuit on a large number of players. Now, for the longs need to make sure that the right number of shares are in existence. That right number of shares is critical because Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, moving forward, needs to do its standard business operations, which involves eventually doing a stock swap with a large oil company. Okay. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. I'm ending this live stream. Thank you very much. Bye.